Is Bruno Fernandes leaving Man United, or are we trying to snatch YOUSSOUF FOFANA away from AC Milan? Welcome to the United Hot Sport. My name is Webb. Here is a quick update and wrap up of what's happening around Man United and all the transfer rumors, speculations, and a bit of concocted stories that we can talk about. Like, share, and of course, let's get proper into this talk. Now, the latest story that is trending online is about Bruno Fernandes, and apparently, reports claiming that PSG are so serious and advanced in trying to sign Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United. Of course, we know that Man United has for a long time been holding talks with PSG over several players, and we know that some of these players are players who we want to get from PSG to join Manchester United, the likes of Manuel Ugarte. Some players are players we want to get on loan, for example, Jeffy Simmons. We also know that there are players in Man United that PSG could be interested in. For long, they were interested in Marcus Rashford, but now Jadon Sancho is emerging as another one, and reports are saying that PSG are moving on to have personal, terms agreed between them and Jadon Sancho, because definitely we know that Man United will be willing to let go of him, and certainly Sancho would be okay going to Paris Saint-Germain, doesn't it? It's not really a big fall from grace. But there is now another story that's emerging, claiming that PSG are advanced in trying to sign Man United's captain Bruno Fernandes, and we know first of all that. There is a basis for this rumor or for this talk that is coming through from France. These are reports that are coming from France. And there is a basis for this because, like I've said, there have been talks going on between the two parties. The other thing, though, is that we know that when Ineos were not decided on whether to keep Eric Ten Hag or not, they started emerging reports that claimed that Bruno Fernandes and his agent were unsettled, and apparently, Man United was worried that Bruno would leave. He was unsettled, and they had started having reports. We had started seeing reports claiming that clubs from Saudi and several clubs he was talking to, including Barcelona, that he had given his agent the green light to proceed and talk to several clubs as he tries to secure his future. Now, just after that, I think we saw Bruno missing. I think the first two games he lost he missed in the entire season because of course, we know he was under his arm was in bandages. Perhaps he was in pain, but we know that Bruno would even play through pain. So probably he was really unsettled, and that's why he dropped off a bit and wasn't playing. And in fact, Ineos had to call him into talks, special talks with him and his representatives to assure him that he was an important player, because in his view, he had not been treated well. Remember when the reports came out that there are only three untouchable players at Man United. That's Kobe, Garnacho, and Hoyland. So Bruno apparently wasn't rubbed rightly, and he was left angered because he thought he was so important a player. So that's why he started sort of pulling out and perhaps not seeming to be happy about what was going on. So he told his agent to talk to several clubs. Now, those are reports. I'm trying to give you a foundation of these reports and why they make sense, but to also tell you what exactly the truth is. So the reports have a basis because Bruno had spoken to clubs as well. But what they're saying now is that he's at a stage of, trying to agree terms with Paris Saint-Germain to join. I think that's where we lose it. I think it's not true. It is not true that Bruno Fernandes is trying to join Manchester United, rather Paris Saint-Germain, that is trying to leave Paris Saint-Germain. No, that is not true. He is not trying to leave Paris Saint-Germain. The thing is, Bruno is focused on Man United. In fact, he made it clear that if Ineos want him, if Man United want him at the club, he will start at Man United. If he's not wanted, he would not stay where he's not wanted. So he was assured in that meeting I've just told you about that he's wanted by Man United. So the plan, I think, is to keep him. Whereas, yes, the interest will always be there. It's definitely there. Man United are not willing to let go of him. And for long as United want him, Bruno is willing to stay. So that should be cleared. There's no, that. Now, the other thing that's training about United is to do with YOUSSOUF FOFANA, who was added on the list of players that Man United are interested in to add on in the middle. I've been speaking about him for some time. You probably saw my past video about him and how I rate him, and I think I rate him highly. He's a good footballer. though perhaps not the perfect partner for Kobe because of his style. I feel like the Ugarte style suits Kobe more, but he was on the list from AS Monaco. But what we hear now is that Fofana, who wanted Man United as well, 25 years of age, prime age for a player to come in the midfield, he wanted Man United, but the lack of action from Man United, and his contract is expiring this summer with Monaco. He felt perhaps United were not serious with him. So AC Milan comes and convince him. So he agrees personal terms with AC Milan. And now we see that AC Milan are now moving to make bids for him. They made an initial, I think, 12 million euros bid for him. That was rejected by AS Monaco. Their valuation was about 25 million euros, though they can come down on that to perhaps to settle on 18 or 20 thereabout. So it looks advanced that AC Milan are going to be signing him. But of course, in football, it's never done. You saw we snatched uh, Joshua Zirkzee from the hands of AC Milan. So we've done it before. We've seen that happen before. We saw how Bayern Munich snatched Michael Olise from the hands of everyone. So you cannot completely be certain until it's done. You cannot be sure until it's really done. So that's the situation that is going on with Fofana. Whether he will join United, I don't think so. And that's why probably now United have resorted to the young Palmeiras kid who the scouts found exciting. He was discussed in recent days after the Copa America, and the scouts and the entire team felt he's a decent player who at 24 they feel they can add onto the United squad and add depth in it. And he's a bit cheap, perhaps about 17 million pounds. That's what United are reportedly willing to table. Well, the interest is there. Of course, not majorly formal yet, but the interest is there in Richard Rios. So that's where we are. But the concrete deal that's going on, that's being discussed by Man United now is Mathis De Ligt. De Ligt is getting advanced. It's now again aggressive talks going on between Man United and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are holding out for 50 million euros cash. That's what they want. Man United were saying 30 or 35 million pounds, euros rather, plus some add-ons of about 5 to make it 40. So that's where the disparity is. But the player already agreed with Man United, and Eric Ten Hag seems to be sure he can convince him to join, but which he did anyway. But it's now beyond Eric Ten Hag and his relationship with Mathis De Ligt. Even the president of Bayern confirmed their relationship, but it's now beyond the two. It's now the club to club engagements are what are dragging the whole deal. So that's exactly what's happening at Man United currently when it comes to the players, the talks of players who United want and who is most likely going to be joining the team. So don't have sleepless nights over Bruno and a departure or something like that. I don't think you need to have sleepless nights over that. If Ineos want Bruno, he will stay. PSG are a club that have the capacity to pay for a player like Bruno. The thing is not they can't afford him. The thing is Man United can't afford to lose Bruno now. The Ineos project needs a leader like Bruno on the pitch. The mentality, the character is a perfect example to all these young players, at least for one season probably. Unless, like I said, a club comes and offers a crazy fee for him, and it can't be PSG. If we think of crazy fees, it can only be Saudi clubs that can offer that kind of crazy money that could unsettle Ineos and perhaps feel like they can use the money to solve a lot of other positions that are quite important. The other update that I have for you about Man United is to do with the other positions that we need to see sorted, and especially that's the left back and of course the right back. And now uh, these positions are certainly crucial, and Ineos know it. They are crucial positions for Man United to sort, and Ineos know it. But as it looks now, uh, they don't seem to be high on the agenda for Ineos, the left back and right back. They don't seem to be high on the agenda because probably they need some departures to make some money to be able to finance some moves. But there is a now report coming in that Man United want to sign a 20 million euro right back. These are German sources, and the same player is wanted by West Ham. these are reports that are just coming in. There's a story I'm just seeing right now, because of course Man United are keen on trying to let go of certain players like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who West Ham wanted. AC Milan as well seem to be interested, and all. Of course, we know that the issue with Luke Shaw and Tyro Malaysia, but there is a story now that Man United are interested in the Bayern Munich defender Nusea Mazrui, the younger Bayern Munich defender. This is according to Florian Plettenberg, who is quite a decent source. I think he was one of those guys who were on top of the. I think was on top of the Ligt, I think, move. I think he sort of was among those who were ahead of most of the rest when it came to that move. But the boy is reportedly he's 26. He's not a boy really for a footballer. That's a man. He's 26. But apparently he's emerging, but Bayern are demanding about 30 million euros for him. Nuzia Mazrui, he's 26-year-old. He's a right back. His contract runs out in 2026, and yeah, he's looked at as a good footballer, and he also played for Ajax before. So an African. He's Moroccan, in case that matters in any way. So those are again a bit of other reports that are coming through. Of course, Man United will be top of the talk. There are so many departments that Ineos have got to solve. Question is, which one will they go first? It's a matter of priorities. Which one will they expedite? We'll get to see. But I wanted to give you clear, clarity, proper clarity from what's going on with Bruno and Fofana. And of course, Mathis Delete. Drop down a comment. Most importantly, guys, like our videos, share them, and of course, subscribe to the United Sport. Bye bye.